Just an update here on what I'm doing with the models. I got this from Chris on YouTube. I don't know how to say his channel name, sorry. I'll just put a link in my comments or in the description. I've been wanting one of these because my wife built me one when we first started dating for Christmas. This is hers right here. She did a pretty good job. She's never built a model in her life practically. So I changed the hood. And she had hood bolts coming out of it, but the cats chewed them off. I cut the holes in it and made my own stacks out of an old pin. Pretty good. Stripped the interior, cut the seat down. She did a pretty good job. I like this kit because it's kind of detailed, so that's why I wanted to get one, because you could copy that rear end if you got a mold process, plus the front suspension on this is really detailed. She left out the upper control arms, but it actually has upper control arms too. So the frame pan detail is pretty lame, but other than that, the suspension could be used on the other models like the one I built. Show you another one here, because it has no detail. In fact, the front suspension ain't even accurate for the car. It's a 76 two-door Caprice. I got a newer version of this, and I got the old one sitting way over there. Kept all the pieces. That's the original one. They brought it back in a different company. That's what I've been working on. I'll show you that in a moment here. This is the first one I did, which is pretty. Same thing I did here, except I used chrome trees to make chrome stacks. Nothing more than just two pieces cut and top painted black, and actually glued to the frame, not the engine. Partially glued the engine, but mostly glued to the frame, just so it looks. And then you can see here where I tried to make little frame horns generically out of other pieces of tree, because this doesn't have that great frame detail. In fact, it's inaccurate if you turn it over, because it's more like Cadillac suspension. Impalas don't have single control arms with a strut rod holding it together. So yeah, they didn't come with 700R4 trannies. I didn't cut the exhaust out of this and all that. Rear end, it's not that great of detail. It's kind of thick because these are they can roll. I modified this one to raise it by drilling or melting new holes to where the axle goes through, so this car sits higher. I'm debating. I might put some Steelies on it, but I guess not, because this is supposed to be the beauty show contestant kind of deal. It's got door bars in it. Give me a second here and I'll pop the top off to show you the detail on the inside. No, I didn't glue it on there. But it has a battery that comes with the kit. Basically moved it there, made a rear gas tank out of the rear seat, just cut it down. Door bars, foam. So, not too bad. Well, that's the kind of model you can build with not too many modifications, keeping it mostly stock. Yeah, actually, first derby car model I made. Well, actually, made one a long time ago when I was a kid. It's all melted and that. But this is the first one done as an adult. Not too bad. I like it. Paint scheme I was gonna put on my cars. I never really did. I don't know. I left it that way. Thought about repainting it. I'll show you some extras I got from Chris too. Some derby stacks. I took these apart because I wanted to see how they're made. Pretty complicated. I don't think I really want to attempt to try and mold anything like that. Cheaper to buy them. A nice actual gas tank. A New Yorker pointy front bumper and a New Yorker rear bumper. He gave me a bunch of little extras like these Buick rally wheels. This I could set down in there and try and make. Might do that. Some really cool tires. We don't run anything this aggressive in my derbies, but it just look a lot cooler. Plus there's a Steely on the other side if I want to copy it. I got some of my own Steelies I could copy too from a little red wagon kit. Already painted the tires for me. Also got these little skid steer tires, but I don't know. Maybe if I ever do a mini model, we'll see. And this is pretty cool. This is the Buick motor that the headers came on. The thing I like about this, I'm going to try and cut it off and see if I can't also copy this. It's actually got a turbo 400 transmission. Pretty good detail. That car's got like a blank, fake, no brand transmission. And then I'll show you here. Push all this to the side. What I'm working on now. Kind of building this is, I was going back and forth, getting crazy like everybody else does, or showing you how far you can go with the stock model. Let me set the camera down for a second and open her up. Start with what I've done on the bottom. And I'll probably make this with a damaged one, but it's the same kit as that basically. What I've done is take an X-Acto knife, heated it up, and melted off the exhaust pieces. Partially recreated these cross members a little bit. Fixed the cross member to where the train cross member looks correct. And now I'm working on the front. Now you see how much I've trimmed off. I'm actually gonna take some trees and actually make some frame rails. I'll probably make it as stock as possible. Have it bend out the same way and everything. I haven't cut the front of this off like that one is, but I will eventually. And then on the inside here, let's see, I can pop it apart again. This interior I've modified a lot more. I've cut the entire floor out of it for a reason, because I think that floor looks almost a little more realistic to what you'll see in a real derby car. I left the tranny tunnel piece in there, so basically when I set it down in there, I can push it down and it'll match up and melt together. And that just looks like, I could probably fill this side in a little bit more. And that just looks like that side's cut out for the transmission. I might fill that space here. Yeah, I know the door trim panels. I might take and sand those down and fill that in, and then try and model it after the cutouts of what a stock door looks like with the door trim panel cut off. I think I'll go through that much trouble. I think it'll make it look a lot better. And I might study, since I have a car, I might make a fake package tray to fill all that in. Just try and go for some better detail. Like I said up here, probably fill this in, bend it out that way, so it looks like it's got frame horns. I don't know if I'll run that bumper on the front or if I'll buy the same guy. I believe he has some, or he knows somebody that can make the 74 bumpers and put a 74 bumper on it. So, got a lot of work to do on the body itself. I'm going to sand the sides, cut that out of course, and figure out a way to carve this area to it and cut this out and just right. Move this back here and make it look like a four-door, just to really trick it out. That's pretty much what's going on here. And like I said, I'll probably mold the rear end on that. That's what I'm thinking. I don't. So it looks like it has a rear end. Maybe cut all that front suspension out and copy that stuff and put it in here. I want to build that kit too. I'm not going to make one model out of two kits. Lots of spare parts in here. I'll use the engine. I'm thinking I'll use the engine because the big block engines that come in these things are so generic. This is what I cut out of the bottom, you can see. I'm going to keep it because, you know, it's good for filling in that section or whatever. Or making other pieces out of. Before, all I did to make a gas tank is I cut the seat, actually left it attached to the floor, and I just took a spare piece of something I cut out, and just stuck it on the side and glued it on, and then painted it. Took a little chrome piece from the chrome tree and stuck on top for a gas cap. Works pretty good. I think wherever it is, yeah, I think I took out the other box to keep it separate. I think the trailer has some pretty good frame rails that'll help me fill these in. Also in the back I'll do the same thing. I'm gonna make this go back and really attach the bumper. You know, don't know how far I go with cutting the tank out or anything. We'll see. Kind of like to put some, get rid of those and put maybe some real looking springs in it. Or I guess I could always use real springs. It's easy to make a spring. All you do to make a spring is find some wire that's got some tension to it that'll hold the shape, and wrap it around a pencil will work. You can make your own coil springs. I guess if you made it out of the right metal, you could even rust them too, so they look more realistic. But I don't think these rails are that bad. I've seen guys that go out and buy the separate kits, but I think for what I'm doing with this, the right amount of paint in that, it'll look good. That's the next thing. I see everybody show me how to do the rust, but it looks complicated. Some people use cinnamon, some people use actual metal paint, and then they sprinkle on some stuff or wipe on some stuff that makes it rust. We'll see. We'll see. I've always thought about, in fact, there you go. One of my paint schemes on a car at one time, and I even thought about using it for models and make it look dirty, and that was paint scheme I was going to do on a derby car, a real derby car one time, was after the car's built and welded and doors are shut, take and spray the car with spray glue and then throw dirt on it so the car is basically covered in dirt. I think the official would have a fit with that. That'd be funny. Like true camouflage. So, anywho, put this back together so it's easier for storage. If they'll go back together. They're back in the bag. Anyway, that's what I got going on. Any suggestions, ideas? It's fine. You can always use new ideas. Not too. You see, I'm not too big of a rush to build this thing. Since I think I bought this months ago from Chris, and all the stuff that came from Chris. Thanks there, Chris. I'll post this, like I said, I can't remember can't really pronounce his YouTube page, but I'll post a link to him. He's got some cool stuff on there. So, but anyways, that's what's going on. Probably paint this like my derby car and then make it bend the back and all that. It might tuck the trunk too, that's nothing to mention. I'll probably tuck the trunk. We'll see. Yeah, I haven't thought about painting these two to match, changing the color scheme on that one, because I don't really like that, but we'll see. So, there you go. Thanks for watching.